looking at one another and drawing, it's an act of attention, and that is also an act of love. We're in a moment where we're really having a hard time speaking to one another. We're having a hard time looking at one another. And so we wanted to find a way to take the lessons from the work that As Devlin has done and to practice listening to one another, to be connected to folks within this very broad community that we call MIT. As Devlin's piece, Congregation, was developed as she was considering the role of displaced people in the United Kingdom. She had 50 strangers come to her studio where she knew only their first name. And then she proceeded to sit down with them for the session and just draw. And then partway through their session, the subjects told her their stories.
It's about human connection in a fundamental sense. Drawing is a core human experience by which we connect with ourselves in experience and communication of the world, and we connect with each other.
There's a need for that encounter with other, and not just an encounter with another, but a non-verbal encounter. An encounter that allows self to meet other without the mediation of language.
Ez, thank you for joining us.
The joy of doing just one thing and say, I'm not going to do anything except directly observe from thing in the world through hand to mark on the page. And I think that's where the practice of drawing has become so essential to me.
I think of drawing as a route to knowledge. The drawing itself is not intended to be a perfect likeness. We're after a record of a connection between two people.
Think of drawing as a way of enacting seeing and catching traces. Action was taken, there's a result in the form of a mark, and the mark is speaking back to the person.
It's hard to describe that.
It was so hard because it's so intimate. I'm looking into this person's eyes and I'm studying their face while also studying their story.
It's not very often that we're fully observed in that way. I mean, I'd be otherwise a little uncomfortable if someone was looking at me that astutely.
Process where the model tries to place strokes on a canvas.
Because As Devlin uses artificial intelligence and has been having these incredible collaborations with artificial intelligence engineers, we are finding places at MIT where that kind of work is already overlapping with other ways of art making.
My immediate ambition for the work that's been made here is that we would make a self-portrait of MIT. Every time a new person participates in it, you would have an encounter with another. They would draw you, you would draw them. That drawing would make it into this display, this collective artwork.
I drew Olivia, and I think my experience was, I was very flustered because I never really had somebody look at me while I was drawing.
It was really moving to hear the students talk about their drawings. And actually, to me, the drawings that moved me most were the ones by people who don't draw. They were working out of their depth. This is where we need to be working. Because if we're constantly in fear and scared of getting it wrong, then we will just clam up.
I think something about sitting in silence, making eye contact with a bunch of portraits of people that you've never met is quite overwhelming.
We almost feel like the subjects walking through this space and thinking about how we exist in this community together with all these faces looking out at us.
It seemed to me that even in the very small experiment we did, some friendships had been forged.
We had been laughing quite a bit with each other, sort of a bit maybe based on this fear at the beginning, some of the discomfort, but also getting to know each other and finding a place in in the moment, in the drawing.
Mind, hand, heart. That is artwork, that is science work, that is engineering work. They are not separate from one another. Imagination feeds innovation. The arts are where people train their imagination for whatever application it may find in the future.